Good evening, everybody. Heading up to Carlisle, Pennsylvania.
In a quarter mile,
Yes.
turn right to stay on US 15, business north.
All right, we'll do that. We'll do that. Heading up to Carlisle, Pennsylvania, to meet up with Dave Bussier from TR Historical and a drop off
Turn right to stay on US 15, business north.
some postcards, which I probably should have made sure I had in my car. Which I do. I'm pretty sure I do. I haven't taken them out, but I'm going to stop and double check up ahead here.
Continue on US 15, business north for half a mile.
Here, let me just pull over here and do it. Okay, here we are, pulling over. Hi, Babber. How you doing? Bear with me, folks. 1 second. I'm just going to go in the back seat where I think they are once this car goes. Okay. And there they are, just as I suspected. So we're going to follow the yellow brick road here. Good evening, Michael. Good evening, Francis. September. How are you all? So we're going up to Carlisle, like I said before.
In
Donald,
a quarter
hello.
mile, turn
Yes.
left onto the US 15 north ramp to Harrisburg.
Great. Now, I've never taken 15 to get to Carlisle. Should be interesting. I hope it doesn't take me all the way up to 581. No, because it's 36 minutes. Well, we'll find out. We'll find out. Maybe it's going to take me to...
Turn left onto the US 15 north ramp,
Yeah,
then
okay.
merge onto US 15 north.
Gotcha. I don't need that volume up so loud. So I hope you all had a nice weekend. I had a very nice weekend. We just went to Sam's Club. Got some Sam's Club stuff. We also went to Target and PetSmart. Did a little shopping. Might go to Bed Bath & Beyond. I don't know.
Continue on US 15 north for 18 miles.
18 delicious miles, ladies and gentlemen. Tom's still in town, imbibing at Farnsworth. When are you leaving, Tom? You here for the week or leaving tomorrow? Tomorrow. Donald just went through Carlisle, headed home from Cedar Creek. That's where Dave is headed home from. He's stopping up there, I guess, as a pit stop. Yes, Mitchell, heading to Carlisle. Pit stop, and so if you'll recall, Friday he was in here in the chat when we were talking, and I said, "Oh, Dave, I can drop I can meet you at Chambersburg on your way back, give you some postcards." And he texted me at about 5, and he said, "I'll be in Carlisle at 6:30." And then as I was leaving to meet him in Chambersburg at 6, I texted him, and he said he's at the Starbucks, or he'll meet me at the Starbucks in Carlisle. And I was like, "Oh, Carlisle? That's different than Chambersburg," but essentially the same amount of time, half hour-ish. Hello, Joseph. How are you doing? Cliff McCurley says, "Hate that I missed the tour this weekend. Missed it by 3 days." Well, listen. Hit up Molly Pitcher Brewing. Yeah, I don't have time. I don't have time. I have to get home. I have, so Colby and I started working out on Friday morning. No. Yes, Friday morning. And he's got, workout equipment in his garage, so I went up there and I liked it. I'm a little sore, but it's a good hurt. You know what I mean when I say that? Like, it's a hurt that you get knowing that you did something good for your bodacious body. So it feels good. We're doing it early tomorrow morning again. So I'm looking forward to that. So I got to get up early, so not going to have any beer. I'm going to go home after I make the switch with the, not the switch, but I give Dave the postcards. tonight. Head home and eat dinner. I'm starving. We're gonna have chicken tonight. Little rotisserie chicken that we got at Sam's Club. Also got a rack of baby back ribs. Gonna slow cook that at some point this week. Chili baby back ribs. Good evening, Dustin. How are you? Well, we had who was that? Cliff. We had a beautiful day yesterday for the tour. Got a little windy towards the end, but that means I got some good video shots of the flag. So I'm happy for that. And yeah, it's the end of another season, our 4th season, right? We had 2020, 2021, 2022. Yeah, 2023, the end of our 4th season of Get Out of the Car tours. How is that possible? I'm telling you, it goes by so fast. But it was great. I'd like to thank, I don't know if he's in here or not, Eric Houston for helping with the flag every month this year. Got to make him color sergeant next year. And he brings his kids along. They weren't here this time, but other times I think they have been along, and they help out with the flag, and I really appreciate that. People like the flag. It's a nice touch. And also it's a way to get attention from people in other parts of the battlefield. They say, who are those a-holes with the flag? And everybody goes, oh, that's addressing Gettysburg. Christine says, recently visited Hancock's grave. So sad. I know, it's too soon. He's in a corner all alone. Beautiful tomb, though. Is he really in a corner all by himself, huh? Where's he buried? In Philly, right? Hola, Marie. How you doing, Mark? It's freezing up in Connecticut. It's 55 here. What's the temperature up there? I guess this is pretty boring for you guys. Look at this, the highway. I was going to take Carlisle. I was going to take 34 to get to Carlisle Road. But for whatever reason, my gyps is taking me this way. So, yeah. Oh, PA 74. Okay, so I think I can take, 94. Doesn't that go into, I'm trying to take a scenic route for you. Problem is, the scenic route goes through the mountains and I lose service. Like, absolutely no service. Not spotty, absolutely no service. So I would lose you there and you wouldn't get to see it anyway. So maybe it isn't worth going. Although I've never taken 94, and that looks like it will take us to, oh, that is pretty. I'm looking at it on the satellite now. And then you get up into the mountains, Mount Holly Springs, right? Yeah, I'm taking 94. What happens if I take that route? I'm gonna do it, folks, for you. Give you a more scenic route. Norristown, PA, that's right. Hancock has a mausoleum where he is buried with his daughter and is in a corner of the cemetery. "'Twas a beautiful day yesterday," Marie says. Yes. Bit windy for my taste, though. By the way, we announced the Listener of the Year at the tour yesterday. He was not able to attend, but it is none other than the great Michael 6 Questions Lentz. So let's all have a round of applause for Mike. Listener of the Year, this is really long overdue. Mike has been an ardent supporter, a fervent supporter, a supporting supporter ever since the very beginning. He was one of the earliest patrons, and even when times were tough for Mike, he would lower his patronage, but he never, as far as I remember, never canceled it. And then he would get things off the wish list. I remember when we had our first wish list, when we first built the studio in the shed. It was like every other day I was getting something in the mail from Mike, buying it off the
Head
wish list.
southeast.
And
Keep
he
right
would say, okay, seriously, this is the last thing I'm going to get. And then 2 days later, I'd get something else.
Continue on Pennsylvania 94 north for 8 miles.
You do that. And then finally, I had to say to Mike, don't buy anything else ever again off the wish list. You made your point, and it's well appreciated. Please stop spending the money. And he shows up to recordings, and he doesn't just sit there and listen. He actually participates in the shows, and I think it makes the shows better. He, of course, sends in questions when we call for them, hence the name 6 Questions Lents. And so I think it is long overdue. And then also, he had a pretty rough year this year. He hasn't been able to really come and attend many shows because of that car accident that he got into. And I feel that it, might make him feel good a little bit. And also, it is definitely, like I said, long overdue to be recognized as Listener of the Year. So, yes. Now, what his award is, what the trophy is, will be Mike, and we got to figure out a way. I'll come and pick you up if I have to get you out for the show on Thursday, because I need to give you your trophy, and I didn't have it with me. I didn't bring it because I can't give it to you at the tour. So, and I didn't want everybody to see what it was ahead of time. So no one knows what it is. If you want to see what it is, you got to tune into AG Today this Thursday, and we will present it to Michael. So Mike, 6 Questions Lent. So everybody give Mike a round of applause and congratulate him for earning Listener of the Year. And those are some tough shoes to fill with Estella as Listener of the Year last year. She did a great job representing us, always out and about with her beaver hat, and she gets to keep it because every trophy is different. And so she is the first, and will go down in the annals of Gettysburg, or Dressing Gettysburg history, that Estella's the first Listener of the Year, and Michael, 6 Questions Lents, is the second. Ty Webb at the first tour next year. We want to watch Mike Lentz take his victory lap without getting hurt, of course. Yes. Got to meet Ty. Very happy to meet Ty. Ty, I was looking for you later. I wanted to talk to you a little bit more, but 2 things happened. I forgot what you looked like, and I lost track of you because I forgot what you looked like. So next time you come to town, let me know. We'll go grab a beer. Michael, 6 Questions, says 94 is the route that Rhodes Division took to get to Gettysburg from Carlisle. You know what, Mike? You're absolutely right. I totally forgot that. Good call, Michael. See, and this is why we like to keep Mike around. He knows so much stuff. In fact, we were talking about it this morning with Colby. We had brunch. Colby's wife, Tay, turned 30. And so we went out to brunch with them, and we were talking about all the stuff that 6 Questions knows. Isn't this a prettier drive, folks? Aren't you glad I went 94? And not just Gettysburg, but Antietam too. And it is truly remarkable and impressive. I might lose you going up and down these hills, because I just did. Going down in this little valley here. Just might lose ye. Or not. Yes, Chris, that's a good point. There was much rejoicing. People were clapping for Michael in absentia. Anyway, is it in absentia when we do it for someone else, or is Mike's in absentia, but he... Joe says, I want to create and run Mike's Tinder. Let's do it. Let's do it. Ty Webb says, I get it. I didn't meet your expectations and you called an audible, just like every woman I've ever met. No, Ty. When you meet 100 people, it's hard to keep track of names and faces. You know, you understand that. I know you're joking. Dustin is planning to be in Gettysburg for a couple of days in mid-November. Maybe have a beer if paths cross. Yeah, sure. You will have a beer. It depends. I can't drink like 2 beers at the most. I brought a whole box of liquor over to the house. Mostly that have been gifts from people, and I was pulling them out and putting them in our little dry bar or whatever. And I was like, these are all gifts here, and it was a Mason-Dixon bottle of corn whiskey. I was like, this is really good for cooking. Like, make a chicken dish with it. And not that it's not good for drinking, but I can't get into it anymore. But I do like the social atmosphere of a bar still. So I'll join you, sure. For sure. But when I say let's get a beer, it's shorthand, because I know most people will have a beer, and I'll have whatever. Plus, bring a DD with you, because I know people like to get hammered, and they're on vacation, they love Gettysburg, and they forget that, like, it's a real town with police, and they're looking. And one of our cops wins awards every year for most DUIs in the state. And I guarantee you, it's because most of them are tourists, and they're not going to come all the way back here to fight a DUI. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's my guess. So be careful driving around Gettysburg after time went on. A word to the wise. And that's another reason why I don't drink out unless somebody else is driving, or I'm walking. Because, he got me one time, but he let me go. By the grace of God. And due to my sparkling charm. Planning to be in Gettysburg. Oh, I read that one. Okay. It is a beautiful drive through this stretch. It really is. I've actually never done it, Mike, so I'm glad I did. Really pretty. Really, really pretty. Mike says to Joe about the Tinder profile, my picture should be me in a full body cast, meaning him. That's funny. That's funny. Ty says, I almost guessed and took a shot at introducing myself, Marie. I wasn't sure and figured I'd guess wrong. Marie says, I was standing there in a blue Columbia jacket. Says, enjoyed the tour Saturday, but I think the most interesting thing I learned was that Major is not the biggest fan of applause. No, she's not. She's not. She loves people, though. We're sending her to a trainer early December. I have to get her spayed. well, this isn't a condition of going to the trainer, but she's scheduled to be spayed next month. And the trainer's like, well, you got to wait 2 weeks after, and then we can take her. So December, first 2 weeks of December, she'll be coming around the mountain. When she come, she'll be. And we're now into Mount Gettysburg. And 94, this is going to take you down to Hanover. 34 will take you to Gettysburg. I left my spectacles over there. What is the name of this town? Gettysburg.
Continue for 6 miles.
Very well. It's in God's hands. Marcia says, love to have a beer with you and talk about long ago memories. We'll be in Gettysburg November 5th till the 10th. It's been 10 years now. Yes. Well, again, I might and talk about the days of old, schedule permitting, of course. And sure. No, Marie doesn't have red hair. Who had red hair? Was there a redhead there? I don't recall. Red hair. No. Oh, I think that's Jamie that you're thinking of. Red, like strawberry blonde. Reddish. Jamie runs the Children's Museum. She's very good. She's very sweet. Everybody loves Jamie. Very nice lady. Very, very nice. I mean, most of the people that come around are very nice. All of the non-nice people have weeded themselves out over the years. Not that they weren't nice per se, but, for whatever reason, not a fit. And that just happens, That's the way it goes. More will weed themselves out in the course of the next few years. That's just the way it goes. And that's good, because that's like an aeration system in a fish tank. You don't have a filter and water moving through and oxygen and everything. It just gets all green with algae because it stagnates, and you don't want that. You don't want that in groups of people either. So it's good to have people who no longer feel it move on, because that doesn't bring everybody else down. And that's the way it goes. But then some of them come back. We had somebody who was gone for a while, had to work some things out, and he came back. And, that's nice. Yeah, Ty, that's Jamie that you're talking about. She had glasses. She was there with her family. They come very often. They come to most of them. I think they might have missed one or two, but they come out to most of them. They go to a lot of things. And actually, when we do these drives in the morning, if I'm out there like 7:30, up by the seminary is where her kids catch the school bus. So they're often at the bus stop, and I'll wave to them if they see me. I was the guy wearing the black hat backwards like a D-bag. Marie says, I did manage to meet Jean, though. Yeah, I met Jean. That was nice. And Eric at lunch. Eric Houston, of course. Yes, always nice to put a face to the name. And yeah, this is, so now we're getting closer to Carlisle. Now, I've never been 81 North. Okay, so now I gotta get on 81. Ugh, what a pain in the balls. Damn it, Dave, why'd you have to go up here? Chambersburg is so much easier. Gettysburg's like 25 minutes, I think. I'm never gonna eat. I'm never gonna eat, guys. You didn't do anything wrong, Eric. Marie was just saying it was nice because she got to meet you and Ty. Or, no, who was the other person? Jean. Sorry, Jean. Marie, how many people do we have? At 90. Yeah, this year was lower. I mean, it was still, I think the lowest we had was 80 people, which is still pretty good. But we started the year at 104. We ended last year at 105. And that's very typical. October and April of the next year tend to be within like 4 or 5 of each other. And then it bumps. It's always higher than the year before, and then so April you started a higher floor basically, and usually it builds. But this year, it went down, and it bounced between 80 and 100, as opposed to being at a floor of 100 and then accumulating more. A couple things I think contributed. One, I didn't really push them that much this year. When Eric was here, he made Facebook events. I didn't. I don't do Facebook, and I went to make them this year. And Facebook, I don't understand why these tech nerds can't just leave well enough alone. They have to change everything, and I couldn't figure out. I had to like learn a whole new system just to do an event, and I said, forget it. I'm not going to do it. So I didn't do it. So I know we got a lot of people off of those events. So that was one thing. Also, this is anecdotal until I actually see hard numbers, but I've been hearing from a lot of businesses that business is down all around, and a lot of they're blaming the gas. Now, everybody's prices go up too, especially the hotels, so there's probably a little bit of that too. But free is free, so I'm thinking it's gas. People just aren't coming that otherwise would make the trip out here. Also, I'm thinking a lot of it has to do with me. I'm a little obnoxious and abrasive, and people are kind of fed up and sick of it. So there's that too. So a couple things, going into it there. Cindy, I was talking to her about it earlier, and she said that she would do the Facebook events for next year's schedule. So maybe we'll see if that actually does make a difference. There's nothing she can do about gas prices, though. Yeah, no, 90 is a good turnout. But again, it's breaking the pattern of every year previous to this. So yeah, it's still good though. It's still up from last month. I think last month we had 85, 83, 84, 85, somewhere in there. Marie says maybe we'll get to know more people at Christmas. Yeah, so I went to see, so Pete Carmichael is coming. So the beauty of going to Saberhood is we've got more room. Wait a second, hold on here. What did Dave do? Okay, so what was I gonna say? Oh, the Christmas party, yeah. So I'm excited because I actually get to invite other people. So I invited Eric and Jim from the Battle of Gettysburg podcast. I invited Pete Carmichael and his staff from CWI, and I'll invite others along the way. But it should be a lot of fun. It was fun last year.
In a quarter mile,
Yes.
use the right lane to take the I-81 north ramp to Harrisburg.
Oh, okay. So I expect it'll be fun this year. And so that's it. So I went on the manifest to add Pete Carmichael to it, and I was surprised because normally when somebody makes a reservation, I get an email, new reservation. I guess I don't know if I didn't.
Use the right lane to take the I-81 north ramp.
I don't know if I didn't get them or I didn't notice them or whatever. But I only saw like 1 or 2 or maybe 5 total come
Continue
in.
on I-81 north for 1.5 miles.
Since I posted the link. But I looked, there's 42 people signed up already, which is amazing. Last year, our limit was 60. And I think it filled up pretty quick when we put the link out there. But so 42 is pretty good. We've got plenty of room. I mean, we could, we're not going to get it, but we could get up to around 200, 250. But I think we'll get 150 maybe. Well, what am I saying? Well, maybe we'll get 100 around there. You know what? I think we're going to be on par with the tours. So I'm going to say 80, 85. But I have enough space for 250. So bring a friend or two, bring your family if you want. We're not going to be doing anything history. It's purely social, purely getting to know each other. And then don't forget February 17th, Trivia Taco Tuesday. Marie, I saw him at Giant on Saturday. That's funny.
In a quarter mile, take exit 48 for Pennsylvania 74 South.
And you must have a problem with I's and U's because just like when you wrote Cundy's name, you just said you saw him at the Gwant store on Saturday. I saw him too. We must have missed each other, you and I. I bumped into him back by the
Take exit 48, then keep right at the fork.
And then keep right. This is a part of Carlisle I'm unfamiliar with.
Keep right at the fork.
Cody misses trucking the highway. There must be some cool feeling to that, right? Like you're
in
out
1,000
there.
feet, turn left onto Westminster Drive.
Ah, shut up. You're out there. You're like an old cowboy, kind of, just out on the road, seeing the country. A loner, Dottie, a rebel. All right.
Turn left onto Westminster Drive.
I got it.
In 600 feet, turn left to stay on Westminster Drive.
Okay.
Turn left to stay on Westminster Drive.
Sure, we'll do that. We'll do that for sure. All right.
In a quarter mile, turn right.
Interesting. I'm just going to do it here and look around for Dave. All right, you guys, let me see what you're saying here. Go Stillers. Hey, McNair, shut up. Hey, McNair. McNair, how are you? All right, we're at Kohl's. Paging Mr. Harmon. Mr. See, Ty, that's why I wanted to stop and talk to you. You need to be my comedy writer. We have the same sensibilities. All right, so Dave says he's here, and I can't miss his trailer, but I'm missing it. Oh, there it is. Okay, so we're gonna, we'll wait over here. Turn here. All right, guys, I'm gonna get going because I'm gonna talk to Dave. Well, actually, you know what? Hold on. Wait a minute. Bear with me. Because you know what? It'll just take a second. He's making a pit. Shh, shut your mouth. He's making a pit stop. So just give me a second, and we'll go back together until I lose service again. Hang on.
Oh, hello, David. 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 Fucking highway.
out a whole bunch of Saturday. So hopefully we end up with a super good crowd. So it's all right. It was a little disappointing sales-wise. Sales-wise, but it was a super windy weekend. And the Tigers yeah, Secretly's pretty good for me normally. It's no Gettysburg, but it's a decent event, and I was running there when Casey was there, Dustin was there, Paula was there. So yeah,
Well, that's right. Yeah. So it was good turnout.
yeah, and it's one of those battlefields that's kind of it's easy to see the action. So if you want to go see the reenactment, it's wide open, and it's on a swale, so like. See everyone, you know what I mean? Like you might not see them coming up over, but all the action you can see. So it's a good setup with good people. I don't know if you know Ashley Sontag.
Yeah.
She's great. I worked with her for years. And awesome. Yeah. But yeah, she's been a big supporter, and she's actually one of my wholesale clients too. I've got my stuff in the gift shop. Great. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's this love handles I gotta get rid of. Yeah.
Somebody actually commented. We had to get rid of
Oh, wow. It could be like one of those t-shirts with all this t-shirt ads. Yeah, it does.
But no, of course, but you can say that about yours. That's a good.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Control the slimming, the slimming benefits of 2 hours slimming.
Yes. I saw a notification Bobby Brown. All right, cool, man. It was great seeing you. Thanks for coming all the way out here.
Absolutely.
Let me know if you see anything.
I will. I always do. And I guess I'll see you at the Christmas party.
Yeah.
Right? You're not coming for Remembrance Day, are you? All right.
I don't think there's anything to get
Well, if you do have the time, we still have to do our meeting.
yeah, we definitely do.
So if you have the time to come down, that'd be great. But we could do Zoom or something.
We might have to do Zoom because every weekend for the rest of the year,
Yeah.
I'm busy.
Okay.
I've got the holiday shop going and all that kind of stuff. But we do need to connect on that. So
We do.
let's go over Zoom.
Because actually we need to do it soon too, because there's a lot of things that need to get done before maybe even Christmas for the next year. So yeah,
So
let's.
this week, I'll set up a date. I'll let you know.
Okay, I'm still packing and moving, but I'll make the time wherever you set up the date. Okay.
Are you sure? You want me to wait?
Yeah, no, both things have to be done at the same. I got to do it. Yeah,
You're like me. Everything's all important.
everything's all important, and all of it's done at the same time.
All right, thanks, man.
See you later. All right, sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's see here. Page 8, Mr. Harmon. Okay, we got that one. We took your suggestion about the Domino House pecan pie, bought a whole one. Oh, Marie. Isn't it the best? See you, Mark Maritano, how are you? See you later. Okay. Kevin says, McNair, did you see my comments about McNary? Okay. Yeah, he got into a conversation with you, I thought. Marie says, we are having shrimp stir fry for supper. What are y'all having? No, that's good. I'm going home to a rotisserie chicken. And I don't know what sides we're going to have, but I'm going home to them. Oh, let's see. I need to find out how to get home from here. Back, search, home. There we go.
Head southeast toward Westminster Drive.
All right, that's what we'll do. That's what we'll do. Nachos during the football game. Nachos. Oh, man, everything sounds good to me right now. I'm starving. I had breakfast. That's what I had.
Head northeast toward Westminster Drive. Head southwest toward Westminster Drive. In 800 feet, turn left onto Westminster Drive.
You just don't stop talking, do you, Sylvia? Sylvia is the name of my GPS voice. So McNair, your name isn't actually your name. That is disappointing. That is disappointing. I thought you were an actual McNair. I was very excited about that. But you know what? It
Turn
doesn't
left
matter.
onto
It
Westminster
works.
Drive, then turn right to stay on Westminster Drive.
Now, I was told, I'm not going to say by who, but he knows who he is. I was told we overdid it with McNair last week. It
Turn
was
right
too
to
much
stay on
McNair.
Westminster Drive, then turn left onto Pennsylvania 74 South.
So we're not gonna overdo it with McNair anymore. Not that we're gonna ignore McNair, but we're not gonna. Okay, we did our thing with McNair. McNair is a part of the crowd. McNair is welcome. That's all we have to say. That's all we have to say. We're not gonna go
Turn
on
left
and on
onto Pennsylvania 74 South, York
about
Road.
McNair and what the definition should be of McNair.
Continue on Pennsylvania 74 South for 9 miles.
What? 74? I'm trying to go to Gettysburg. Where the hell are you taking me? Oh, then 15 is right there. Okay, that's why she was taking me up 15 before. This would have been more direct. Got it. All right, well, you know what? You live, you learn, ladies and gentlemen. Would have been here a lot sooner had I not taken my detour of 94, but it was a much more scenic route, and I did it for you. Go to patreon.com/addressinggettysburg, and don't forget super likes. Okay, so, yes, we're not going to go on and on about McNair. McNair is just a regular guy now. He's just a regular part of the group. Although, if McNair ever does show up to a party or something, we will do McNair autograph signings. That is a fact. That is a fact. So let's see, this might be a nice drive too now that I'm looking at it. We're getting out of town and it looks like farmland. And we have 8.2 miles to go before I hit Route 15. So maybe this will work. What is this? We're hitting 81 now. So we're crossing 81 in a bit. So that gives you an idea as to where we are. I have no freaking clue. Marie says the pecan pie was delicious. It really is. It's one of those pecan pies. It's so good you feel almost guilty about eating it. You feel like you should probably go get your blood sugar checked because you might be a diabetic now. It's so sweet and succulent and delicious, but so worth having. And I believe the whipped cream that you can get with it is also homemade. Hello, Random Frog. Happy Sunday evening to you as well. Through my lens, good evening to you. Eric, that's how you do it, he says. I'm not sure. Are we talking about the McNair? I don't know, but whatever. Eric, oh, that's how you do it. That's how you sneak in a plug for a super like or a new patronage. Thank you, Eric. Thank you very much. And thank you, by the way, for the super like. Oh no, that's a sticker, right? Keep it up. There you go. Thank you, sir. And by the way, I don't know if you're in before, Eric. I think you weren't, but I acknowledged you and thanked you for your help with the flag this year. And now that you're here, I truly do appreciate it. And Eric, I also thank you for the very frank conversation we had, because I find that to be valuable. Hence the fact that I like McNair. where are we heading? Through my lens, we were heading on it. He fulfills orders for TR Historical. He puts those in the years. You got to everything. You got to everything in it. McNair is laughing at the thought of too much McNair. Oh, good God. Finally. And by the way, Eric, you have a very nice family because you bring your kids on most of these tours. Elizabeth has been working helping. She's been coming by on That's What She Said, and everybody loves her. The girls especially, they really love her. She's very funny, very sharp kid. And you're right. When I bash the youngsters, I'm not talking about people like her. I'm not talking about the sharp ones. Of course, I'm talking about the useless ones. And I hope she knows that as well. Ty says, so the dozen Gettysburg Baking Company cookies I bring home isn't enough. Now I grab a pecan pie. Diabetes, here I come. You got the pecan pie. Gettysburg Baking Company's good. And by the way, Jess, you hop in there for breakfast or lunch one day, and if you go for lunch, you got to get the mushroom soup. Any of their sandwiches are really good. For breakfast, either the bialy, the tartine, or the breakfast sandwich are awesome. Honestly, like anything there is really good. And they're very nice ladies that run the place. Very friendly. Everybody is. Really they are. Because if I go into a business and the people aren't friendly, I don't go into the business the second time. You know what I mean? So I only recommend places based on the friendliness and quality of the food and the service. I don't tell you about the ones that aren't friendly, and I won't. Eric says, I always enjoy needlessly expressing my opinion. I don't know if it was needless. I asked for it, It helps to hear negative things, or what other people would think are negative things. I don't see them as negative things. They help me hone everything. And, because if you're just sitting there with your friends doing a show and you don't get feedback from the audience and you think you're doing nothing wrong and you continue doing it. But that's why it's valuable to get good and bad feedback. If you get enough good feedback on the same points, then okay, that's something that works because the majority of people say they like this. But it works the other way too. If you get people, but not enough people. I think a lot of people are, they don't McNair it, to be honest. They're too polite, or they're, whatever their problem isn't worth really bringing up because they on the whole they like it. And I think that's kind of where you were coming from, Eric. And but I know that not everybody likes everything. I like to hear that stuff. As long as it's in a constructive way. And you McNair it, it's like constructive. I try to turn it into a constructive thing even when it's not intended to be. Because that's valuable to me. That really is valuable. Because I can take that and figure out a way to turn that negative thing into a good thing. Maybe. Not necessarily McNair's criticism. I did it again on the tour. I like that. I like to tease, and that's not going to change. All right, enough. No more McNair.
In a quarter mile, turn right onto US 15.
All right, we will, Sylvia. Thank you. Eric says about Elizabeth.
Turn right onto US 15.
She's the good one. The others are the ones that try to prove people right about the younger generation. Well, you're right. Yeah.
Continue on US 15 for 18 miles.
All right. That's what we'll do. So we're in the Gettysburg area. There's a really good Thai restaurant. I believe it's up at this No. Oh, wait, no. Is it this intersection or the next intersection? Doesn't matter. You don't know where I am. It's the next one. Next intersection. There's a good Thai restaurant up here if you like Thai food. Jack talks Thai? Oh yeah, Jack talk Thai. No, how does that go? Thai probably knows it. There's also a drive-in theater here, ladies and gentlemen. And they still run movies. So if you're ever up in the summertime, for a week at a campground or something, take the fam up to Gettysburg and go watch a movie in the drive-in. How often have you done that in your lifetime? How often have your kids probably don't even know what a drive-in is. They probably don't even know. This is where the Thai place is right here. They probably don't even know what a drive-in is, and they certainly have never been to one. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. And it's coming up, actually, not too far from here. Alright, now we're on the smooth pavement, the new pavement, and won't have as many bumps. Dragoon says the Dobbin House gingerbread with hot lemon curd and hot apple cider with Laird's. Oh man, I haven't had that. That sounds delicious. Of course, we all love the onion soup at Dobbin's, but for those of you who like blue cheese dressing, isn't their blue cheese dressing the best in town? It's homemade also. I love it. I can't get enough of it. After watching The Sopranos, I gotta give Bialy a try. Yeah, Tony always got a Bialy. So, from what I understand, or actually, I don't understand, so maybe somebody can clarify, is a Bialy the name of the sandwich, meaning a sandwich with basically lox and cream cheese is what it is, at Gettysburg Baking Company. Is that what a Bialy is, or is a Bialy the type of bread, like a baguette or a focaccia or something like that? I never really, I guess I could have asked, but I never did. But either way, I get the Bialy often, it's delicious. Kevin says, Matt, I do the same. I can't tolerate impudence. Nor can I. What? What was I talking about where it makes you say that? Marcia, Gettysburg Baking Company is on the square in the corner where the pub is. That would be your northwest corner of the square. Eric says, fortunately, Houstoning doesn't roll off the tongue. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It's too much of a mouthful. Random Frog says, ooh, drive-ins are making a comeback. There's a super popular one down here in Virginia that gets hundreds of people from all over the state for a showing. I bet. It's a cool idea. And I like how old ideas are coming back. Like, unfortunately for movie theater owners, they're still hurting. But drive-ins are like that old idea that, for whatever reason, fell out. I don't understand why, because why wouldn't you want to do that? I think one of the things is technology makes it better to do a drive-in now because you tune into a radio station, from what I understand, and you get better quality sound instead of those silly little speakers that would hang on your window. Now it's your car stereo. So that makes it, I think, more enjoyable. I was at one about 10 years ago, and I thought that made it really good. Because hearing is always a problem for a lot of people in movies, because the dialogue is always very low, and then any like orchestra hits or sound effects, like especially if it's like a horror movie, like, you know, any of those like bah moments that scare you, they're always really loud. And I know a lot of people, older people especially, myself included, or those of us who are not necessarily old but have old man hearing because we abused our ears over the years, that's a big problem. Like, I gotta read the subtitles. Ugh, it's so annoying. But yeah, so, you know, I can make the volume at whatever I want. You go outside, you're outside watching a movie, like, that's cool. So I'm glad to see that that's coming back. I hope more of them do. That's what I gotta talk to Bo about. That is to a drive-in. That would be cool. That's what Gettysburg needs. Dogface says he's got a drive-in a few towns over from his. Sadly, they don't let you during the movies anymore. Oh, they used to do. That's cool. You see, why do they stop letting you do that? What jerk ruined it for everybody? Oh, that's what happened. Somebody got in an argument with some guy next to him because he was also drinking beer, probably. And he got in an argument with the guy next to him and started flicking briquettes at him. And did that. Donald says Gettysburg has a little farmer's market. A friend of mine sells wines there. You know, I just heard about that for the first time the other day. It's an indoor one, right? I gotta check it out. Michael has a drive-in 5 minutes from his house. Well, good. I'm glad to see that there's more drive-ins around. Are these new drive-ins, or are they old drive-ins that someone, you know, spruced up and decided to breathe new life into? Either way, it doesn't matter. I'm glad to see it's happening. Marie's got one as well. Oh, that's pretty cool. All right, good. Ty Webb, I wondered that about a Bialy 2. Is it the entire thing, or is it kind of like Gabagool and Capicola, where it's just a different name for something I already know? No. No, a bialy is its own thing. It's not like gabagool. Gabagool. Oh god. Michael says the one near me closed nearly because the movie formats changed and the new equipment was crazy expensive to change over. Yeah. So that might be it, is they couldn't keep up with the changing times. But it seems like the public lost interest in the drive-ins. Like, that first generation that had drive-ins, it seems like they were all about them. I mean, there's songs about them and the movies that show the kids going to the drive-ins, but their kids didn't appreciate them, and I wonder why. Random Frog says, actually a pretty good idea, Matt. I bet it would work. Once a month or a week during the tourist season, you play Civil War weekend. Yeah, we play Gettysburg. Yeah, exactly. Gettysburg, Glory, and the others that drive in town. Yeah, I know. I think it would be good. That's right, Marie. Hit that like button, peeps. Especially that super like button. Man, the gas I spent on this one. Dogface. Love when they do the Dusk Till Dawn showings, 4 movies back to back. Are there 4 Dusk Till Dawns? I've only seen the first one. I like the first one. Oh, this one is outdoors. Okay. At the historic tavern across from Sheets. So the one right on 15. Interesting. Blue cheese gabagool. Oh, man. I'd eat it. I'd absolutely eat that. I like gabagool. It's not one of my favorite meats, but I'd put blue cheese on it for sure. Random Frog says, I think the fuel crisis in the late 70s did a huge number on drive-ins. Yeah, because you can't. Well, I guess you could leave it just the. Yeah, that's a good point. I never thought of that. Because you don't want to leave the battery on. Like now, for example, when you tune into the radio, you don't want to leave the battery on for 2 hours. Although you could get away with it. And you don't want to leave the car running. No, I don't know. It's not a good idea. I'll have to look into it. Eric says, I remember the adult drive-in as a kid. It had a hedgerow around it, and if you looked closely as your parents drove by at night, you could catch a peek. Really? An adult drive-in? That's insane. I'd never heard of that. Where the hell did you grow up, Eric? Marie, thank you for the super like. Or is that a sticker? Thank you for the sticker. Kevin says, is this the first night drive? I think it is. Well, I might have done some on Instagram in the old days, but it's the first one on YouTube, I think. I did a sunset drive around the battlefield maybe a month ago, but this is the first night drive where I'm like just driving around. Blue Mountain Provisions, says Donald. They are a small batch winery They have really good fruit wines, like Herbert Linger. Herbert Linger. What's that from? Southwest PA, that was outside a town called Norvelt. So Norvelt in Southwest PA had an adult drive-in. Why the hell would it be? Like, who's ever heard of that place? You think like Pittsburgh would have, well, maybe not for a drive-in. Yeah, maybe you do put it out in the sticks. Huh. Never heard of that. I learned a new one here. I learned a new one. Oh, wait, no. Michael says we had an adult drive-in. It was next to the Pittsburgh International Airport. That must have been interesting coming in for a landing on a night flight. Am I right? Regular drive-in, but when they started to close, stayed open for a short time. It's the adult drive-in. Oh, well, you gotta do what you gotta do to make money, I guess. Gotta do what you gotta do to make money. Well, folks, 2 miles. I got 2 miles till my exit. Heinous and Nene says adult drive-ins make a lot of sense. Let me spell out all the reasons. Oh, I can't wait for this one. Might not read them out loud, but I can't wait. There was a place in Gettysburg that was an adult store with rooms for peep show. That was a cash town. That was up on the mountain called Miss Lindsay's, I think. That closed sometime between 2010 and 2018, I think, because I believe it was closed when I came back. I've heard some horror stories about that place. I mean, it looks like a place where horror stories would take place when you pass it. It's still there. The building's still there. I don't think there's a sign or anything, so if you don't know where it is, you don't know where it is. But it's just as you start going up the mountain, past Cashtown. Hey, Boards, how you doing? I see your name on the list for the Christmas party. Glad to see that. All right, Eric, have a great trip to Atlanta. Thanks for joining us. Oh, not Miss Lindsay's, it was another one. Oh, is it before you hit Cashtown on Route 30? It was like a little cinder block building, a little step back off the road with just a big gravel lot and, well, maybe not a gravel lot, but a big lot. And all the windows were painted or otherwise obscured. There's another one down at Littlestown, I think. I don't know if that's still there or not. Those places are weird. I'm sorry. They're just weird. I never understood it. Not even as a joke. Because it's not a joke. Like, you feel bad. I feel bad for these people. Anthony says, "Oh yeah, can't wait, buddy. I just sat down. I ally from working." What? Well, good for you. Paul says, "Yep, that's the place." Yeah, I remember that. I forget. I don't know what that place is named. That place closed before Miss Lindsay's did. Hey Chuck, how you doing? Okay. Oh God. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for me to go. You guys have yourselves a great Sunday night. I'll see you in the morning on my way in. Go ahead. Jesus. At the right away, you're going straight. All right, I got here first, but whatever. Heinous is the place Matt and Gary Edelman talked about, the episode about town roads apart through the 60s. I don't know what you're talking about. You talking about the one that was on Little Round Top? That was a brothel. It was not really a brothel, but you can go and get some loving. Anyway, you guys have yourselves a great night. I will talk to you in the morning. Ta-ta.